the other side of that screen. So hi there and welcome. I'm Nick, this is Emma.
Hi.
And we are certainly not news readers for our day job, so I hope this goes well for you. Welcome to DC Power Live Q&A. And so what we're going to do this evening is we're going to tell you a little bit about the company, Emma and I, and then we're going to answer some questions. But just firstly, DC Power Co. We've got some T-shirts here that we're wearing. So we want to be the first customer electricity company owned by its customers that really focuses on people with solar. So we want to make sure that people who made that investment in solar are getting a much better deal. They're getting the right kind of prices, they're getting the right information, they're being told when their system isn't working. And then as they make decisions about, do I need a battery, or do I need to upgrade my system or get my first system? Or, I'm thinking now about an electric car and I need a charging system. How do you make those decisions well and get them right? And we want to be that company that helps you do that in a way that keeps the prices down, that keeps saving energy, and that means that you've got real confidence in moving into this new renewable energy world. So that's who we are. I think that what we're going to try and achieve right now with you over the next half hour is Emma's going to give you a bit of an update on how we've gone building the business. I want to talk a little bit to you about being a shareholder in the new business. And then lastly, we're going to have Ash join us, who's going to sit here, who's taking your questions at the moment. And she's going to collate some of those questions, and then we'll answer them right here and now with you. So if you do want to ask a question, or we say something right now that makes you think, oh, I'd like to know more about that, please just go onto the side of the screen, fill in the box, put in the question, and we're collating them here. And then Ash will come and join us and say, okay, here's some questions. So with that, here's Emma.
Great. Okay, so we wanted to give you an update of what we've been doing. So first off, well, clearly we closed a very successful crowdsourced funding campaign. So thank you to you all. It was the world's largest launch of a business using crowdsourced funding equity, and that was thanks to all of you. We'd also like to thank ARENA. So ARENA is the Australian government's renewable energy agency, and they assisted us in running the campaign. So the campaign finished in April, and since then we've been busy building the business. And that's been the most really important part, has been securing access to licenses, because that allows us to bring our solar-focused electricity offer to the market. So you may recall from the offer document that was highlighted as one of our key business risks. We've now achieved that, so this is very exciting. We also, in the offer document, outlined the 3 options that we had to gain access to those licenses. So the first was that we could get our own licenses. Now, that's quite an involved process and takes over 12 months. The second option was to buy or merge with another electricity retailer. That is also quite an involved process and quite complex, and would probably take around 12 months. The third option was to secure a white label partner. Now, what that means is we find a partner to provide us with billing services, electricity licenses or access to licenses, and a good electricity offer. Now, option. In doing that process, we've run an expression of interest, which is quite an involved process, but really, really important, because this is the founding block of our company. So that process that we've been running has taken us about 2.5, 3 months. And we spoke to over 6 companies. We got three on our shortlist. We then did a deep dive with those 3, and then we finally selected our preferred. We've then been contracting with our third and with our preferred provider, for the last month. We signed that agreement 2 weeks ago. So that means we now have access to licenses, and I'm pleased to announce that that partner is PowerShop.
I think we've got a woohoo. I mean, it's been a big process for us, 2.5 months, and I've got to say, we did sign the contract about 10 days ago, and it's been really great to do that with PowerShop. They're a great organisation. They've got great systems, and they've just been a great culture, great bunch of people, and it's been really easy to work with them. And I'm excited. I think we're all pretty excited here about the quality of the product and the offer that we're going to be able to get out now to you all.
And to now we have immediately swung around to getting you an offer and coming to market with a solar-focused electricity offer. So we're also very excited to announce that we'll be able to offer gas as well. And we're aiming to be coming to you in the next couple of months with an offer. So it will be this year and hopefully this, well, in the next couple of months. But in order to keep updated about what we're up to, please make sure you're following us on social media. I know many of you are, but we'll also be providing regular email updates as well.
Great. Thank you. Well, so that's our key milestone. We know we're off and running. We'll be out there soon with a product that people will be able to join the company. But, the interesting thing about this company is it's not just about being able to offer you energy. It's actually that, you're entrepreneurs with us, you're stakeholders in this business. You've taken the punt, right? And you've taken on the punt to disrupt and change the energy market in Australia. And so as such, you invested your money, 12,500 of you. So I'm going to just talk to you a little bit as investors, as people starting a new business. So, what have we done? Well, the first thing is that as an investor, you own some shares. We sent you an email recently that just confirmed how many shares you've got. Your shares are with a registry, and they're an independent body to us. And in our case, that's a registry we've chosen as a registry called Link Registry. They've sent you an email saying, this is your shareholding, but you're also going to get something in the post in the next couple of weeks that actually, so you've got a piece of paper there that's from Link that's actually telling you exactly what your shareholding is in DC Power Co. So that's on its way, and that's just a kind of formal part of the business and a relationship. So when you see it, it's got Link on the envelope. You know who they are, and they're with us, and they're with you. So that's the first bit. The second bit is that one of the things that we're doing is that we're building a board as we build the business. And currently there are 3 board members. But as part of this round of funding, there are going to be 2 extra board members. One is for somebody to represent you as the crowdsourced funded equity investors, and a second board member for who comes in with the matched funding of that round. So we're currently speaking to a range of investors, and we're really nearly complete on that process. And that money, when it comes in to match the CSF funding, that group of money will have a representative. But you get your representative, and this is really unique. I mean, not only are you owners, but you get to choose and vote from those CSF investors your own representative on the board. And their job is really to join us as a board so that we make great decisions as a company and as a board, but also to particularly sit on the board and think, is this what the CSF, is this good for CSF investors to represent your interests? So a couple of things about that. The process is going to start in a couple of weeks, and so we're going to go out and say, look, would anyone like to be on the board? And just so you know, we're particularly looking for some skills. So we're really looking for somebody who's got either HR or legal skills. The thing about a board is they work best when they've got a real breadth of experience and different qualities and strengths. And we haven't got those strengths, either particularly HR or legal, on the board. We've got them around the company and obviously as contractors, but not on the board. So we're going to be asking people, if they've got those skills and they'd like to be on the board, whether they put themselves forward. We'll get that list of people. We'll probably shortlist them, so it's not we'll see how many we get. We'll create a list, have a conversation with people, check that they're really up for it, the commitment, they can do it. And then we're going to put that list out to you with Link, and you're going to be able to vote. And so you can have a look at them, look at their profiles, think about who you'd like to represent you, and then you can make that choice. And then that person will sit on the board until such time as we get a re-election. The last thing about being a shareholder is this whole process of building a business. And the interesting thing about coming in and trying to disrupt a market is that we bought shares, or the smallest investment was $50, and most people made that $50 investment. But we want to grow this company 10, 20, 30 times that size. We really want this power company to be the biggest power company in Australia that represents people with solar. Now, if we can achieve that, that means our investments will really grow. The thing about growing investments is we're doing that together. So, if we're delivering a great service for you, and if you like us, as a shareholder, one of the things that you can do is work with us, telling our friends, our neighbors, the person next door, look, this is how much I sell from my solar, because I now know, because my bill tells me. We want you to share that. We want you to help grow this, because we really think we can shake up this market. And if we do, that's benefits to us all. Right, let's get Ash in here. So if you've been on social media, and gosh, a third of you are, for more than 4,000 at the moment. So that's fantastic. Ash, come on in. Ash is the person that answers every single one of your questions.
Hi everyone. Thank you for your questions.
And so she started with us right from the beginning. In fact, she got a full-time job with us
just recently, a couple of weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, her first full-time job out of uni. So,
very exciting.
That's pretty exciting. So,
anyway, so you guys have been sending in some questions. Lots coming in right now live. Some are coming on email as well, which is great. So we'll start on a really popular one that a lot of people have been asking. What sort of feed-in tariff are we going to have?
Okay, this is the hot topic. So I'm leading the pricing at DC Powerco, and we're right in the middle of looking at this right now. So we're in the process, and what we'll be looking to do is have a great fit. But as a solar owner myself, I'm looking for great fit, but I'm also looking for an overall really great package so that I get both good money for my solar, but also I get a good price for the electricity that I top up or that I buy. It's also really important for solar owners to understand how else you can reduce your bill, and that's about when you use your solar and when you use your electricity. So insights are really important, and they can help you lower your overall bill as well. And we'll be looking to include that in our information that we provide you.
So we don't know how long we are away from that, but we're really hoping that October's, we want to get out there as soon as possible. But it's we've been going really fast, and we'll keep going as fast as we can. But we want to get it right. We want a good offer.
Yep, and I'll be working really hard to get a good price.
Great fit.
Alrighty, now the other question is that we're getting a lot of. Danielle, who emailed us a couple of days ago, would like to know, will DC Powerco be offering the chance to buy solar panels, batteries, solar hot water, all that kind of thing?
Yes. So I think we see ourselves as an energy services business, not a retailer, okay? So first of all, we see ourselves as, being for solar, by solar, so owned by solar people, for solar people. But actually, a third of you don't have solar yet, but you are interested. And so even before we get the energy offer out there, we're really looking at, can we get out there with a great package for people who are considering solar? Can we give them good information, good support, tell them how much they'd be saving? Because let's face it, it doesn't matter how good the deals you may or may not have had in history to get in. If you do the analysis today, if you can get solar on your roof, the chances are you're going to be saving money. Now, how much will depend on where you live and how much sun you've got and all those things. But we're going to help make that analysis, give you that information, and get you into some really great product that we've looked at to make sure it's got good warranties and it's going to do the job. So we're going to have that. We're going to have it. We think solar panels pretty soon. We're looking at batteries. We want to make sure we're coming with the right battery offer and the right information, and that might be a little bit after the retail offer. But we're going to do that, and also service. Once we're getting into putting cars in our homes, we're going to want to make sure that the charging for the car integrates with the battery and the roof. We don't want someone fitting that and then finding out they don't work together. So we're really going to get that stuff right for you guys.
Fantastic. Now we've got a question coming in just now from Visible Stories on and how we full-time or part-time. Who's involved?
Right. Well, of the 4 founders that started it, 3 of them are full-time in the business, and Monique has moved to the board. So there's the 3 original founders. Then we've now got Paul Watmo, who's joined us, who has a great history out there, has been in this space running retail now for 25 years. And so Paul joined us a few months ago and actually was key in doing the power shop, in securing the power shop relationship. We've got Ash here on social, Maddie over there on the computer looking at your questions right now, who really organises all of the business. This is her first big job out of uni too, or a bit of travelling and second maybe, that's probably right. Then we've also got our head of marketing, Liz, is joining us on Thursday. We've got a CTO that will be joining us, so a chief technology officer, to make sure we get the insights right, the website right, the integration right, and do good partnerships. And he is going to be joining us in a couple of weeks' time. So those are the key jobs. I think we've also got Chris, the company secretary, who's part-time. Anybody else that we should mention? Mike we've got a web developer who actually set up the technology for this, and he's also part-time, a couple of days a week. I think that's probably about it. And we don't intend to get much bigger. I think we'll be about 10 or 12 people. We'll have a few other part-timers that will come in and join. But the goal here is to work with people out there that are cutting edge, that are out there, that are driving this space forward, and to bring them on or bring their technologies on and service them up to you in a really supportive way.
I think we intend to remain pretty lean,
yeah.
10 to 12 people. And, a lot of people, we bring in specialist resource, but we do that with where people are part-time. So it's really effective for the business.
And we are bringing in a product person, somebody to manage those relationships for the solar, for the fitting solar or fitting batteries.
Fantastic. Now another popular question that we've got coming in on email today: where are we going to operate? Where in the country?
Well, we're in Melbourne, and we're not moving. So we're going to be based here. Our call centre will be here, and also there will be some call centre response stuff happening from New Zealand. But predominantly, we're going to be based here to start with. I think as we grow, there may be presence, but in other states. But as much as possible, we want to, as we said, use contractors who are local in areas that are delivering those services.
I think that might also be around the offer.
Yeah, and so we're but also where are we going to be able to be an energy retailer? Which states?
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood that. Well, that's where we're based. Where we're going to be delivering is we're going to start with South Queensland, New South Wales, and Victoria. And then we are looking at how soon we can move to South Australia. In terms of North Queensland, ACT, Tasmania, they are on the Eastern Seaboard grid, but the markets are difficult to get into. They're not very competitive, and there are some constraints. But we will be looking at that, and we'll be thinking about how we get an energy offer there over time. And that partly will be about working with governments and trying to encourage change and an opening up of the market, which we'll do if there's a lot of us around in this space. And then lastly, there's WA. And that market we won't be going to quickly. But again, we have got customers there. We will be delivering services there, but probably not an energy offer in the near future.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Now, Rowan on YouTube would like to know, what will the connection fee be? The daily connection fee.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Okay.
I'll give it a So the daily fee is a regulated fee. It's if I've got Rowan's question right. So an electricity price is made up of three parts. So you've got your feed-in tariff, which you're all familiar with. You've got your usage rate, which is the price that you buy electricity at, and then you've got your daily charge, and that's predominantly made up of network and services fees, and that is particular to each distribution zone in which you live. So that will come out in all our pricing tariffs, which is the process we're going through right now, when our offer comes to market.
I think the bit I'd add to that, which I think maybe you're asking is about where does DCP fit in that. And so those are the charges that we've got, and we're going to try and get the best prices that we can in that mix. But then there's also what we charge as a power company. And obviously the charges that we charge you are made up of two bits really. The services that we get from our white label service, which is the connection fee, literally for you to be connected to the grid, and the access to wholesale pricing. So we don't add any money to that, but there's a cost for us to get that. And then there's our cost of running the business. And our cost of running the business, we're going to set, and it's going to be at around, all of the services outside of the network and those charges are going to be less than $25 a month. And of that bit, half of that is probably ours and half is for other people that are serving it, around there. Once we get close to that, you'll see that in the pricing, and Emma will come out that. We're going to be transparent. We're not going to hide that stuff. It's going to be really easy for you to see. And the reason we're going to do that and say there is a charge for us, and it's just a monthly charge, is because what we want to do is we want to tell you when your system's not working, and so you can get it back on. We want to tell you how to maximize your system so that you're buying less energy from us. We want to make sure the biggest way, if you've got solar, of saving money is actually not in the feed-in tariff. It's in your power company giving you good advice so that you can reduce your bills. That's where the big savings are, and that's what we're going to do. And so we want to try and create a small monthly charge that covers our costs and delivers a reasonable profit to the shareholders, you, us. So that's great, and that's how we're going to design it. And that allows us to do everything we can to make your bills smaller, because we don't lose money from doing that. All the other power companies need to sell you more power to make more money.
Fantastic. And we've got a question coming in from Lee, who emailed us today. And they'd like to know, can I still be a customer of DC Power Co. If I don't have solar?
Yes. 30% of you. And as I said before, we're really, that 30%, we're going to get good support to you to tell you if you can have solar, how you can have it. I think the other thing is, and this is a bit down the track, but there's a bunch of you we know that, particularly some of our younger investors who are in flats, don't own their own property, aren't in the position yet to have solar because of where they're living. But they're interested in solar farms. They're interested in renewable energy. They want to be part of this movement. And when they do have a house, they want to have solar. We're going to look at all the fun things that are in this space. Solar farms, heat pumps on your balcony, shared solar on, all of that stuff we're going to look at. But we're going to start this process with you as owners. We're going to come out with the best offer we can in the short term. And then we're going to, with you, we're going to grow the options that actually mean, unless you're with us, you are not going to get that kind of service. We want to really disrupt the energy sector to say, there's the old-fashioned way of doing it, when people buy energy, and then there's a way of doing it in the future, when you're a generator, when you own the power company, and that's going to be a different world. And we're creating.
Brilliant. Now, let's talk about a big issue at the moment, the neg. Glenn would like to know, how is it going to affect DC Power Co, and how do we feel about it?
Well, I mean, we had a piece in the Age with one of our customers.
With another Ash?
With another Ash, yeah. Ash got on his roof for a picture with the Age, well done. And that actually was a slightly different issue. That was also about the policy in Victoria. So first of all, the neg is about, as all the politicians tell us, is about getting security in the energy market and getting lower prices. And both of those things are really important. The neg is not so great in terms of its support for solar. But actually, we can work with that in the future, and we can certainly work with the states as well around that. So what's important is that we know where this market is going. We know where we're going in terms of managing emissions and the cost of managing emissions. And we need that certainty in this industry going forward. So that's good for us. And I think I think the things that the states are doing at the moment, which are asking for for it to be changed over time, I think is probably important and keeps us relative to the rest of the world. I think getting a better deal for solar will be something that organisations like us, because we've got lots of solar customers and they're not just spread around the rest of the market, will be able to do for you. I think we will be able to advocate and lobby and get a better deal for solar. But actually, on the whole, I think it's a good step forward.
Yeah, I think I'd just add, it's really complex. It's a really complex area. There's a lot of stakeholders, and what we've been missing in the electricity market now for some time is a policy and some certainty. And so, and I would add, it's still not finished. Like it hasn't been agreed by the states yet. So, but it does provide some certainty, and with that certainty allows investment, and it means everyone can get on with business, and that is a good thing.
Yeah, and it'll always be so much better too when there's at least one retailer out there that's representing solar in this debate. And sadly, we weren't a big voice in that, but we hope to be.
Fantastic. So I think we've got just a little bit of time left for one or two more questions. We mentioned earlier that we're going to be able to offer gas, which is great. And Paul would like to know, is it natural gas or LPG?
Natural gas. So for those of you who are on LPG, so out in the country and you're not on natural gas, we are not going to compete with the local petrol station trying to sell it to you, or even so we won't be delivering bottles. No, not in the short term anyway. I'm not sure, maybe long term. And anyway, if you're getting so much solar off your roof, you're going to switch to having everything electric because it's going to be so much better for you. But that's down the track.
Fantastic. And David wants to know if he can buy a T-shirt.
Wow, look at that. So you can win a T-shirt.
Yes. You can. So at the moment, if you're on Facebook, every week we're sharing someone's solar story. So Emma's shared hers. We've had a couple of investors and followers who have shared it on Facebook, which is really great because we love hearing from you guys. We're a community on social media. And if you do send in your story, then and we share it on social media, then we'll say thank you by sending you a T-shirt.
And also we will. I mean, we know you own this company. It's amazing how much feedback we get from you. I always find it amazing every time I do a video, somebody phones like, say, can you wear a shirt next time? Or can you wear a tie and get a haircut? So, it's like this, it's really, you're really invested. You're in all aspects of it. Thank you for that. We will have some merchandise. We will get some T-shirts out there that you can wear and wear proudly, and we'll do some of that stuff. But we just started, and actually, you can just tell us your story and get one for free.
Brilliant. All right, well, we'll finish up with one more question. Lynn wants to know, can I buy more shares?
Great question. So we want to be the power company that's owned by you. We're going to go out with an energy offer, and we know then that you're going to tell people because it's your energy company and we want to grow. But we want you to be able to say to them, and if you get in early, the early customers, we will come back to and say, here you go. Get back in and be owners. So we want to do that. We want our early customers certainly to be able to be owners. So this first round of becoming customers, anyone who does become customers, we're going to really prioritize in terms of a next share offer. I'm not sure how soon that will be. I think probably likely early next year. We want to get a few customers first, and we want them to be there ready so that we know it's going to be successful and that we get a next good cohort of CSF investors in. We done?
Brilliant. Well, we're just about to click over to 6 o'clock. So.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. We're really grateful for your time, and we'll do it again.
Great. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.